In this video, I'm going to show you how to make money investing in real estate, and I'm going to show you another little niche that's related to real estate. You can make great lump sums of cash. Investing in real estate is a great way to build wealth, but you have to do it right, because if you don't do it right, you can lose a lot of money too. So let's teach you how to do it right. Investing in real estate generally takes cash also. So if you don't have lump sums of cash, let me show you how to get those lump sums of cash together so that you can confidently, competently, and profitably invest in real estate. And be sure to stay on till the end, because at the end, I'm going to give you an opportunity to learn about a little niche business that can generate huge lump sums of cash very quickly at very low cost and can be really great to fuel a real estate business. So let's talk about real estate. I think real estate's great. I've been investing in real estate since 1989. It's been the greatest source of wealth in my life. And if I looked at my own personal financial statement, most of the money is in real estate. That's where my net worth is. And it's the same for all people who've done well. It's the same even for people who haven't done well. For almost all Americans, if you own your house, it's the biggest source of wealth for you. And if you own several houses like rentals, even more so. And when you own real estate, especially if you rent it out, then you're not only building up wealth because you're building up equity, which is, equity is just the difference between what the house is worth versus what you owe on it. That's equity. So you're building up equity, but if you're renting it out, you can also generate lots of rental income. Now, one of the better ways to generate rental income these days is through short-term rentals. Think Airbnb, VRBO, things like that, things I'm sure you've heard of. The reason is the rents are much higher when you're renting through short term. It's just like if you buy, a single bottle of water. If you buy that at the convenience store, it's probably, $1 or $2, versus if you buy a 24-pack of water, it's probably $7. And you compare, I could have had 24 of them for $7 or this one for $1. You see how much, more expensive it is to buy things, in a smaller quantity. So when people rent out houses through short-term rentals, or sometimes they rent apartments that way too, when they rent them, you get a lot more money per day. Now, obviously, it's not rented every day, and you have to think about whether this is a place people actually want to rent, but they're great for vacation houses. They're great for places around a hospital where you have visiting nurses that come in and maybe working for a couple months. They'd much rather be in a little house or apartment rather than in a hotel room. You also have people that they may have a relative who's ill for a long time, and it's much more comfortable to be in that setting with an apartment or a house. If you're in a place where there are vacations that happen, people go there. So lots of great, that's a great business, the short-term rental. There's also another version of that where you don't have to own the property necessarily. Another version is where you do a lease or a management agreement with the owner of the property. You get permission from them to offer it as short-term rental for a percentage of the revenue that comes in. And what's great about that is that you don't have to own the real estate to make money on the real estate. And you can make a lot of money as a manager. There's a lady in my development that does that. She does places all over. And where I live is big on vacations. She takes 30% of the money that comes in, and she doesn't have a mortgage. If the house is vacant for the month, she doesn't have to worry about it. She only has to deal with tenants as they come in. And because she has a lot of houses under management, she has like 60 of them under management, she has full-time maintenance people that just go around and she bills them out as they go around. So she has the people she needs to do the work. She's not the one plunging a toilet in the middle of the night. So I think that's great. Also, student rentals can be good. If you're around the right university, someplace that's growing, those can be great. You can make good money with that. And just simple apartment buildings can be great too. A lot of people can't afford houses right now. Interest rates have gone up. Mortgages are, expensive, and houses are expensive, so a lot of people can't afford it. So the rental business has been very, very good. And I like, well-located, good quality rentals, I think are terrific. I think for people who want to deal in sort of the lower end, like the properties in really poor neighborhoods, you can make money with that. I think it's a little harder, so it's not what I would choose to do. But some people do. I think a lot of times those properties look better on paper than they are in practice. So I would stick, in my opinion, on blue-collar and better rental neighborhoods. I think that works much better. Rentals are going to continue to grow because we're not building enough housing inventory. We don't have enough housing inventory, and the inventory we have is too expensive for many people to afford. So I think that's a great area to be in. I think rentals are terrific. You can also do the fix and flip business. Now, we see that on TV. Everybody's like, fix and flip. I think that business is much harder than it appears to be. When you buy a fix and flip, you generally need to buy that property for 70% of its after repaired value minus the fix-up cost. Anything above that, your margins start to get very small. So if you're in a stable market where prices aren't really quickly increasing, you really need to stick to 65 to 70% of retail minus fix-up. And that's just a low price. If you had a $400,000 house, which is like average house in America cost, if you need to buy it for, let's say, 75% of retail minus fix-up, that would be you need to buy it for $300,000 minus whatever it's going to cost you to fix it up. So, to talk a seller into giving you a house in a $400,000 neighborhood for less than $300,000 is just not the easiest thing to do. So the tricky part about that business, at least the first tricky part, is finding the deals is difficult. And then the second part is you got to come up with the cash for it. And the third part is dealing with the contractors. Because you probably know that contractors are in great demand right now. They're expensive. They're not always as reliable as they could be because they're just pulled in too many directions, and materials costs are way up. So, I'm not a big fan of fix and flip. I think it's a lot of work. You also don't benefit from your work over time. You do a project, you get it done, but then it doesn't produce any more money. I would rather see you with a rental, even if it's a short-term rental. I'd rather see you with a rental where you're going to profit month after month, year after year from that deal, rather than one-time fix and flip. And the biggest mistake, if you go into the fix and flip business, just don't violate rule one. Rule one is you have to buy it at the right price. You really do need to buy it for 70% of retail minus fix-up. I wouldn't pay more than that. And that is difficult to find. So I find the biggest mistake people make in that situation is they just get impatient and they try to shop through a realtor who does not have those deals. Realtors do not have those deals. Those deals are gotten through foreclosure auctions and things like that. They're not gotten through realtors. Realtors are retail outlets. They don't have those deals. So people get impatient. They pay too much. And then they're frustrated because they do all the work. They deal with the contractor. They raise the money. And then they make no profit. So I don't think fix and flip is the answer for most people. I think it's a mistake. The time that fix and flip works, by the way, is when you have a fast rising market. Then you can buy places at 80% of retail minus fix up, which is much more achievable. And because the property goes up while you own it, you make some money anyway. But that's not today, and I think that's not really a very safe way to play the game. So I'd rather see you with rentals, with short-term rentals. If you're getting started without cash, then do the short-term rental where you're managing properties for other people, or you're leasing a property and then releasing it on short-term rentals. That's the way to do that. If you have some money, then I would invest in high-quality rentals, and I would do that all day. I think that's a great way to do it. Now, let me talk about a related business that I've been doing that I love. I love it, love it, love it. It's called Overages, and that's a business where we help people that have lost a house to foreclosure get large refunds. We're talking tens of thousands, sometimes even hundreds of thousands of dollars that they never expected. And we get a percentage of the money that we help them get. I recorded a video called Intro to the Overages Business that I want you to see, where I go in depth into this and show you how it works and show you how you can get involved. It's great for generating lump sums of cash, which can feed a real estate business. So you can get to the place of owning really high quality rentals. If you have rentals, you can pay down your rentals and get free and clear rentals. And for most people, if people had 10 free and clear rentals, you'd be set for life. So this is a really great business. I love it. You're helping people. You're making great money. It doesn't take a lot of money to start. So go check out the Intro to the Overages Business video next. If your browser supports it, you'll see a link right up above my shoulder. If the browser doesn't support it, then you'll see the link down below. Either link, both go to the same place, Intro to the Overages Business. I'm really excited to tell you about this business. It is a cash producing king. It can really help you get wherever you want to go, and I think you're really going to love it. And it's related to real estate, but it isn't exactly real estate. So click on the link. I'll see you over at my Intro to Overages Business video.